Welcome to Worlds Collide, a wrestling card podcast for wrestling fans by wrestling fans, featuring Tony Vella from WrestlingTradingCards.com.
This is like a stock market.
And Zhan Morning from Wrestling with Cards on YouTube. And I'm not saying there's a right or wrong answer, I'm just posing the question. Join them as they navigate the world of wrestling cards, helping you build a bigger and better collection and making some money along the way. What's up, wrestling fans and trading card collectors? Worlds Collide, that's right. Back once again with a correct title. Tony is with us. As always, Tony, how's it going?
You know, I'm living my life.
Same.
Doing the best I can every single day, man. That's all I'm doing. Just out there collecting. I'm collecting more these days, you know? I find myself, I just realized this the other day, I'm finding myself getting into more things that I never thought I was going to get into collecting-wise. I don't know why.
How are you feeling about that? Because I know you're like not anti-collecting, but it just...
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not anti-collecting. Yeah. I feel pretty good. I just, you know, part of me is like, I'm itching a little bit, like, you know, I don't want to miss out on that. I should get that. I don't want to miss out on it, you know? So,
yeah.
You know, the Major Fig podcast cards came out, and I got one of those, and I had to get them. One, I like that design, so I had to get them, and just, you know, right along the hype train, you know?
Right.
And then I picked up, I got a sealed box of WrestleCade 2019. I picked one of those up. But yeah, I just, you know, getting some stuff here. I'm like, wait a second. Whoa, I gotta slow down now. That doesn't fit the Kurt Angle mode. I've got nothing new Kurt Angle wise.
I'm turning back into a set collector. No,
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. No, and I really don't. But you know, part of it is, and I'm not married to any of it, so definitely will all be available for sale at some point.
It's fun though. Like it's just fun. Yeah. It's
just fun to get it and then look at it and hold it and it's like that. And you know, kind of that old collecting that I had before and say, right. I have it, you know, I have it. And that Major Fig one was kind of cool because you got 5 cards out of 15. You didn't know what you're getting. And, you know, I was slightly disappointed in what I got, but you know, the fact that I got doubles was kind of like, but yeah. You know, it's a gamble you take. I love the design. I think it's such a cool looking cards. And they said, hey, we'll take care of you, man. We'll get you a replacement card. So I'm really happy about that. I can't wait to see that. But you know, just doing that kind of stuff. So what about you? What are you doing?
Buying and selling, man. That's all I do. Buy cool stuff, sell cool stuff, have fun. Like you said, it's what, you know, putting out content, just trying to do the best we can, but I'm also making sure that we're having fun, because if we're not having fun, what's the point of any of this?
Yeah, part of what I'm having fun with when it comes to WTC stuff is that I feel like I'm back in that groove again when I first started doing WTC, where because of the team of people we have that are helping out with everything, we've got so much stuff caught up that now when new information comes, like, you know, new living set print run numbers or new, you know, the history in WWE Tops Now stuff comes out, boom, it gets put up there immediately. It's like old school days, like it's up there right away, man. You know, I was like, that Major Fig podcast checklist came out, like, boom, I had it up like immediately.
That's great. That really helps the collectors too. And it's good to know that, you know, the team that you've put up behind this is really helping out to get these things.
Oh, they're amazing.
Fast. It's such a good resource.
They're the best. They're the absolute best, man. I love those guys.
So you're talking about, you know, not wanting to miss out and falling into the hype train earlier. I think today's topic, this is a guy that is all about the hype, all about drinking the Kool-Aid. Sometimes he over delivers. Sometimes he lets the checks bounce. Paul Heyman.
Yeah. He's on an episode of This Is Your Card, right?
That's right. You guys have spoken. You like this episode. You like the roundtable. So that's definitely 2 things we're going to keep doing. So I was kind of shocked. According to Trading Card Database, 158 cards. That's it.
Well, you know, I noticed when I was looking at our notes that, you know, we referenced Trading Card Database, which is a great resource to have, obviously. It gives you a roundabout idea of how many cards are out there. But I'm going to tell you, there's a lot more than that, because they don't carry and list a lot of these international cards that are out there. Yeah. Where guys like Husker who have these amazing connections all over the world that, you know, present us a lot of cool cards that we've never seen before.
And then we get into I'm not going to debate this, but, you know, me and you, we see the backlash. People are like, oh, well, those aren't officially licensed cards. They don't count. Or, you know, I think wrestling's a totally different thing where sometimes those things do count.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, it's I call them bootlegs. It's become a dirty word, and and rightfully so. It should be a dirty word, but that's what they are. They're bootlegs, but people will collect them, and like we've always said, just buy them all. Collect what you like, what you love, and it doesn't matter. It's like that, But those who are producing stuff like that should be careful because there's legal ramifications for doing things like that. But they're fun. They're cool. I like some of these cards that they pay homage to old designs. I love it. So 158 cards for Paul Heyman.
Ballpark. I mean, still, like when we look at some of these other guys that like I don't want to be disrespectful, but it is just what it is. Like the opening act mid-tier talent that's in the WWE that has thousands of cards and no one cares about necessarily. Paul Heyman is a name that's etched in wrestling history for changing a lot of stuff, being one of the best guys on the mic, promo master. Like I said, getting people to drink the Kool-Aid. And here, he just doesn't have that many cards, but the few that he does have, I'm a big fan. So let's start with the rookie card. I'll kick things off. The 1991 Championship Marketing. Now, here's the thing. This is one of those card sets where, you see like 4 in a row or 4 in the complete set. And you're like, which one is the rookie card? What do I pick first? I went with the first one, card number 23, but it just also happens to be my favorite one because it's this glorious mullet that Paul Heyman has, and it just screams WCW.
Well, he is screaming in that card, I think.
That too, yes. Yeah, he has other, like one of those cards in the set. He's got that hot pink satin jacket. Yeah. And there's another one where he's got the phone. And I'm like, why can't we combine all of these into one card? So
yeah. That's so cool. It's like that. Because actually that phone plays into something later we're going to talk about here.
Ooh, can't wait. Yeah. So what did you have for the rookie card that you would consider?
I got the same thing. I like the 91 Championship Marketing. It's I don't know of anything older than that for him that I can think of.
Not that I'm aware of either.
And but that's just it. And I like that same card. I like all those cards in there of him because it's just this super 90s. I mean, early 90s. It's still screaming late 80s actually for me. So I mean, but yeah, it's just the phone, the screaming, the yelling, the suits, the mole. It's just great.
And I think the card design really puts the focus on him. It does. There's nothing flashy. It's just a nice, clean looking design. And then bam, there's his face screaming right at you.
And I love that. I just love that black border with the stars, the gold stars around it. It's like that. It's cool. It's a cool design. It's a classic. I mean, they've done it. I think PWG paid homage to it with a card set once. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you see some bootleg knockoffs and somebody will make a card that looks like that too. I mean, it's a cool design.
And we were just talking about a minute ago, like you're picking stuff up and like you maybe didn't intend to keep it, but now you're going to hang on to it for a while, or you didn't intend to buy it in the first place. I remember my very first submission with SGC, I submitted one of these and I actually got an 8 out of it. Believe it or not, that's a pretty good grade, I think, for those Championship Marketing because of all the chipping.
Sure.
And that's just something that I put away in a box. And like, I go back and look at it every so often when I'm flipping through. I'm like, man, this rules. Like, I don't want to sell this. And I don't even care that it's worth anything. Like, it's just really cool. And the black tuxedo look, I absolutely love it. So
it's a great card.
Let's move on to our favorite card and I'll let you kick things off.
I like the 2002 Absolute Diva card with him and Brock Lesnar. It's part of a subset in the base set called Partnerships. So it's got this Brock rookie year, basically, you want to call it rookie year. Mm-hmm. Just monster man, screaming. And there's Paul Heyman off the side like that. It's just perfect. It's just perfect for me. I love that card.
And I think that I used to have that card. I don't know if I have another copy right now, but I think a lot of people hearing that will probably be like, oh yeah, because he managed him 2 years ago. No, this was like 20 years ago now.
Yep.
And it just planted the seeds for what we would see years down the road. But I've always thought they were a great combination.
Perfect. It was a perfect combination, actually. So, I mean, the fun fact about that is that the partnership card from the 02 Absolute Divas, which was a Fleer release, was the second Diva release they ever put out, because the first one was in 2001. It was called the Ultimate Diva Collection. Then they came out with the Absolute Divas. There's the regular base set, and then there's a parallel set, which has the Absolute Diva logo on it in gold. That's the parallel. So they made that partnership, which is a subset in the base set, the 100 card set. And then they had these little mini posters you can get out of your packs too, and you open them up and they fold open.
Oh, cool.
That's one of those as well too. There's a partnership of Heyman and Lesnar as a mini poster.
That's cool. I've never even seen those before.
Yeah.
All right, so I will go. Man, I have a lot. I told you guys I love Paul Heyman. I have a few different to pick from. Anything from '91. So any of those, the championship marketing, the '92 WCW Tops UK. The
Nice card.
Yeah, I love the night. You know, we were talking about the '90s, late '80s, '90s. If you want a snapshot of a moment in time, this 1992 card is it. You've got the, you know, it's similar to the Impel. It's got all the flamboyant colors all around it, but it's got Paul Heyman with that gigantic phone front and center. He's too busy to pose for the camera because he's taking those big calls from clients.
That's right.
And
what his reception was like back then.
Well, it's funny too that people never picked up on it. Half the time he just had a home phone. Like especially in ECW. Like if you really look, that phone is one of those cordless hand phones that you get at home. It's not even
like like what they call it, like Cordai or something like that.
Yeah.
Cordai or something.
And people, I don't know if people just, you know, we didn't have the internet really in the early mid. I mean, we did, but you know, it's not like it is today. So I don't know if people just didn't pick up on that or what the deal was. But the last one I will point out, and I think the image is just okay, but to me, it's the design and the rarity of the card. It's 2015 Undisputed, the autos specifically. It's a sideways card with a big space for him to sign, and it's just got Paul in his suit, but the parallels are really cool, specifically the purple one. And I don't remember the numbers on these right offhand, but I remember seeing that purple auto, and I was just like, man, this is such. Now I have one of the base ones that's unnumbered, and I have it right by that rookie that I was telling about in the SGC slab, and I just love it. I'm like, he's got a great signature. It's a super classy look. Like, Paul Heyman's not classy really, but it's a classy looking card with him and his, but just I think that's kind of a random release that a lot of people just don't talk about with him specifically. So
yeah, the autograph ones from 2015. I don't know if it was 2015 or 16. I remember Top sent me a box of the first time ever having Undisputed. And I pulled a Paul Heyman out of it. It was a regular, you know, unnumbered one. It wasn't a parallel, but I thought, wow, Paul Heyman autograph card. Never seen that before. That was pretty cool.
Right. Yeah. And that's the other thing. And we'll get into this. I believe I've got notes down for this, but I just don't see that many signatures for him coming out. Like there's just a handful.
Yeah. Those purple parallels, by the way, were numbered at 25.
I just love like the purple just pops off that gray design on the card. I don't know why. I don't know why I picked that color out of all the colors, but that's the one that I just liked more than anything.
I pulled that information not out of my head, by the way. I pulled that right off of WrestlingTradingCards.com.
Oh, geez, a place where you can go look up rookie card information. Who knew?
Shameless plug. Yeah.
All right, so worst card. What do you got?
I don't really have one. I pretty much like, if it's got Paul Heyman on it, I'm pretty cool with it. Unless it's a really, you know, crappy design of a card, and I can't think of any off the top of my head that he's been on. I just, it's Paul Heyman, man. I just, I love what he's done for the business. I mean, could I call myself a Paul Heyman guy? Yeah, I guess so. You know, did I study his career? It's like that? No, but I followed it, you know, like every other fan. And I love his aura about him, his personality. I just think it's you know, this tough guy, man, this tough Jewish guy, man. He's out there just you know, what a mouthpiece, and just very creative like that. So I mean, I like anything he's on. So I don't have something I dislike that I can think of.
If I have to pick one, it's very interesting. I think his WCW cards are great. I wish there were ECW cards, which maybe we're foreshadowing, maybe. And then the stuff you talked about, like that, you know, early 2000s WWE stuff that he would appear in. He had a little bit, like, his hair was longer. He always wore that Yankees hat.
Sure.
He had it was still Paul Heyman, but it was like a more professional Paul Heyman. Like it was everything he is, but just moving up to the big leagues, so to speak.
Was that him? Was that during the time that he was doing announcing stuff, though?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. During that, yeah. And then that's when he's managing Brock, and then the ECW invasion thing came back. But then there's this time period where he came back, and it was with the CM Punk stuff and then the Lesnar stuff. It was right around that 2015 time, but there was just like a lot of really like, I'm just going to call them generic Tops releases with him in it. And it was just like him standing there, or like him with a mic, just, not like the WCW where he's like being very vibrant looking and yelling and screaming or pointing or looking like a sneaky snake,
just hanging off those ropes. And
yeah. Like those images of him are awesome. But then if I had to pick those, it'd just, like I said, be the sporadic Tops releases that they put around I would say 2010 to 2015 era, like off the top of my head. And he has another, like, I don't remember what set it is in there, but he's got a really cool autograph card, and it's a very basic design, just a black border, but and I think it's even a sticker auto, maybe.
Might have been, I don't know if that was from the WWE rival set, or
maybe that might be it. And it's just very plain, but I always like the look of that. So I'm kind of with you though. I've been a huge Paul Heyman fan since he was in the AWA, and then WCW. Again, we're foreshadowing some other stuff here I can't wait to talk about. Of course, into ECW, and then just going into WWE.
Yeah, he wasn't in the it's called the Ultimate Rivals. He wasn't in that set.
Okay.
For autographs, but I don't know what it was.
All right, so moving on, cards to invest in.
You want to start with that one?
Yeah, I'll start. Yeah. I think two things, and I've kind of talked about them. The 1991 cards, whichever, the market wants to settle on the rookie card on that one. I think it's that number 26. Isn't that what I said it was? I forget numbers. 23. I think 26, because I don't remember if that set goes 4 in a row like some of those do, or if
that was Impel.
Impel, and then the other one that's kind of like this is that Vince McMahon one in the 86 O-Pee-Chee. There's 4 of him in a row, and then people were trying to decide, like, well, what's the rookie? Is this even a rookie? But that's where I get that confused. But yeah,
because the championship marketing didn't do that one didn't do a superstar in a row. That was Impel. So if you look at the set for itself, you start with card number 1 would be Sting, then it goes Arn Anderson, Michael Hayes, Rick Steiner, so it goes in a row like that. So his first card in that would be Paul. Basically it's Paulie with mouth open. Basically what's the name of the card. Then it goes to Michael Hayes, and he's got other cards in the set as well.
So that would be my first choice. And then I would go with autographs, and specifically if you can find any of the autographs that are numbered or parallel, because again, that just puts in built-in scarcity. But even the base auto, like I have the undisputed base auto, it's not numbered, it's not parallel, but it's one of those things where it's not Seth Rollins, it's not, Drew McIntyre, it's not Roman Reigns. We're not seeing autographs come out in every single set, even if even if there's not that many sets. It's just, we just don't see him signing very much stuff anymore.
Well, I mean, look at the card total, the roundabout total from Trading Card Database. I mean, when you compare 158 as the roundabout numbers like that for him, everybody else has got like thousands, Right. I mean, that's a really low.
And then consider that a lot of those are going to be base cards.
Sure.
So yeah, I really think I'd have to side with the auto over the rookie, but why not have both? They're still so affordable right now.
And I have to agree with you. For my thing is like, I don't know about his rookie card per se, if that's going to really ever be something that's going to hold the highest value of his stuff. If you're going to invest in him, I think I agree with you. I think it's going to be paralleled numbered stuff, autograph stuff, things like that are going to probably hold more value than whatever is deemed a rookie for him.
That's an interesting topic. I think when you do a whole show on what do you pick? The key iconic rookie card or the super rare auto or parallel or whatever? It's a interesting debate.
It's a great conversation to have, because I think it differs depending on the superstar you're talking about.
It's exactly what I was thinking too. Maybe we should pull some examples if we're going to do that.
Yeah.
You got anything else on the investment side of it?
No, like I said, I'm saying that, numbered stuff, autograph, things like that, you can't go wrong with their parallels. I think this number is going to, it shows even more scarcity is going to be the way to go, I think.
Yep. I mean, it's good enough on, the big guys like Roman and Drew, like I said, or Charlotte. Like, I'm a huge fan of the Charlotte numbered stuff, but
and then I think guys like a Paul Heyman type of guy, and those kind of guys, managerial type people, announcer type people like your Jim Rosses like that. I don't think that in the collectible world, we talk about superstars that don't get any love and don't and are undervalued. I think that some of those guys who are legendary, your Mean Genes and your Gorilla Monsoons and like that, I think they're all undervalued. Those are legendary people that filled my ear with entertainment and knowledge that kind of, for what I'm seeing with my eyes, they filled my ears with this stuff. And I think they're just as important to the product as what I'm seeing is also what I'm hearing. And a guy like Paul Heyman, I think, is as regarded as he is in the industry, I'm sure, for his brain and his innovations and stuff like that, and what he's brought to the table for the industry as a whole. I just don't think he gets the love that he deserves when it comes to the collectible side. And I think that he has such a low number of available types of cards to go out and get, and then numbered versions of those. You can't go wrong there, man. I think that when that guy is gone and passed, whenever that day, hopefully a long time from now, it's gone, I think people go back and realize, holy shit, that guy was, I need to collect his stuff. That's some good key stuff right there. That's something important.
Yeah, and you actually touched on something that I'm going to hold off on until our last segment, but I want to talk about spanning generations, because sure. I agree with you, but I think there's some things that maybe the regular wrestling card collector isn't taking into consideration. But this is the most fun part of these This Is Your Cards episodes, the card you would create. Do you want to start?
Sure. So we talked about that cool card with him holding that wonderful, gigantic, monster 5-pound Sony phone. How cool would it be to have, again, because this is fantasy. This is all fantasy of card I could create at any era of any time kind of thing. We've done this before in the past about, memorabilia stuff from the ECW era time thing. If I can go back in time and create a card, I would go back to that time when he was carrying that big brick of a phone, and I'd break that thing up into pieces. I'd make a memorabilia card out of it and autograph.
I don't think you can get a better relic than that.
I mean, that's how cool. I mean, yeah, maybe a piece of his tie, that would be cool. A piece of his suit, that would be cool. Although I'm pretty sure not going to give like this $15,000, Armani suit, but something like a cool relic of some kind.
The only other relic I could think that would even be a fraction as cool as that phone. Do you remember in the 90s the zebra print hats?
Oh yeah,
he wore those.
With the tails.
Yeah, he wore the zebra print hat backwards on ECW TV all the time, and I was like, man, that'd be a cool piece of a swatch, because at least it's different,
That would be cool.
I still think the phone is way cooler, but that would be a second option that would be.
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, they can do like with those slam attacks now. They do a piece of the dirt for crying out loud and above the thing. So I don't care about thickness like that. I mean, Jesus, Harry Potter, Artbox used to have that license when Harry Potter was real popular when it first came out. And they made trading cards with these memorabilia cards that came in. And they were huge. They're like 2.5, 3 inches thick of like a prop. They were called prop cards. And so you basically got a redemption that you sent in for it, then you got that prop card mailed to you.
And I'm sure people loved them. So clearly there's a demand for bigger sized cards,
Absolutely. I mean, you don't, it's the thing I think about the industry itself, is that you don't have to think about, oh, what can I put in a card and shove it in a pack? Well, that's too thick. No, who cares? If you're doing redemptions for people, put a redemption. I'm entitled to a piece of, that broken championship belt. It's like that you guys use and turn into a card. It's like that. I get a piece of that, or, some kind of thick prop of some kind.
Oh, I just thought of something else would be cool, relic. Maybe some bounced checks.
That'd be awesome. Signed by him. That'd be awesome. Like cut signatures of a bounced check. That's freaking awesome.
we've seen cut signatures before with checks. I think it would be cool if it was denied,
Oh, that's so cool.
All right, so
it's got non-sufficient funds.
Mine is a little bit out there for a lot of people, and I don't know how many people will understand or be like, why did you pick that? Because a lot of people don't associate Heyman, but I want a booklet. So for those of you who don't know what the booklet is, it's basically like multiple cards that are fit together, and sometimes they're like they have a hinge on them, or they have like a little like band that it is what it is. It's a little book essentially of cards. So I would do a booklet of Paul Heyman and every member of the Dangerous Alliance. So it would be 5 cards with 4 signatures per card, and it would have every single member's signature from this time when he started the Dangerous Alliance in the AWA all the way up to when he killed it in ECW. So all that WCW. So you'd have Steve Austin, Medusa, Ravishing Rick Rude, the original Midnight Express, Randy Rhodes and Dennis Condrey, 911, Sabu, Taz. I know Arn Anderson, Beautiful Bobby Eaton. I know I'm missing more off the top of my head, but just like look at those names. Like
that'd be great. I mean, that's just it's a legendary list of people. So that's a cool booklet set. Like I've never owned or pulled. I've been lucky enough to pull a booklet of any kind. But I would jump all over that.
I would also request that they use the pictures of that era. You know, for the little stickers.
It'd be dumb not to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, request. It's your design. You do whatever the hell you want.
I mean, I'd take it either way. I think it'd be cool if they didn't have any images and I just had it. It'd be a cool item. But if it was my card and I was creating it,
a series of 1-of-1s bounce check collection of autographs.
I'm in. Sign me up.
And the person that was written to, like this one's got Paul Heyman and Tommy Dreamer on it. Paul Heyman and
that would be great.
That would be so
cool.
What
a great idea. I didn't expect to be talking about bounce checks on there.
Why not?
So we've talked a little bit about what we think about Paul Heyman, how we're both fans. Where do you see the future of the Paul Heyman cards going from a market standpoint, just straight up popularity standpoint?
I go back to my previous comments we just talked about. You know, it's just unfortunately he's grossly undervalued. I don't think he doesn't get the love that he deserves in the collectible side. And I'm not only speaking from trading cards. I can only imagine it must be from every aspect and figures and whatever else too.
Yeah.
But I don't know, future possibly. I mean, outside of the obvious numbered stuff and relics and autos, whatever else he's on, it's like that, paralleled numbered. Maybe if you get high grades in those early 91s and you want to call those his true rookie cards, or whatever the market's going to dictate that his rookie card is, if you get those in 9s and 10s, if you're lucky enough, maybe those are what's going to be, in his future for as far as investing or whatever. I don't know.
I just think that, I think he's going to be more popular than what we think. Not like mainstream top of the tier Hogan popularity, but like, going back to Mean Gene, Gorilla Monsoon, those guys that like they spanned generations, but some of those generations are now dead. And if you look at the current, the people who currently watch stuff, they know a little bit of the tail end of the 90s. They know most of the 2000s and they know current.
Yeah.
And they don't go too far back before that. Like, have you seen that? Like, people seems to not really respect or want to dig into wrestling history from like,
of course,
50 years ago.
And that's kind of something that, I'm going to bring him up. Our dear friend we lost, Chef Carl.
Yes.
He was planning on having a YouTube channel, talking that kind of putting together trading cards and then giving the history of those trading cards and how they worked in the history of wrestling itself. Give a little bit of a history lesson about, those cards from the 80s, the 70s, like that, and talk about, these legendary people that people today probably aren't as familiar with. So I was really looking forward to that. And, I'm gonna miss Chef Carl a lot. So, I think you're right. I think people just kind of, they don't forget, even though with the network and stuff like that, they go back.
Yeah.
People hear about the Attitude Era. They go back to that to kind of witness that, I think, more than anything else. But I don't think they go back any further than that. They don't go back to that 80s stuff. They don't know about territories. They don't know about, these guys like the Gorilla Monsoon when he was our actual wrestler. Not a commentator,
I mean, talking about Heyman in the 80s, like one thing that comes to mind right off is the original Midnight Express versus the Midnight Express feud with him and Cornette, and all of a sudden Cornette's the baby face. And I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah. I mean, people don't understand the history side. And I'm not a history major on that stuff. I mean, I know enough, but I just don't think that when it comes to even the collectible side, so I just don't know if, I don't know. I hope that some guys like Heyman get a better rub, in the future, going, God, that guy was amazing. I should really get his stuff and invest in some of his stuff. I just think that I got nowhere to go but up, I think, from an investment standpoint.
That's exactly my point, is that we, like, I will say kids now, or teenagers now, or young adults right now, they've witnessed him at the, beginning of, we'll say, the ruthless aggression era. They've seen him come up with CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. They've seen him involved with stuff. He's always been
briefly with Cesaro, briefly with Axel,
briefly reviving ECW in 2000, briefly, whatever it was. Like, that was a disaster. But the point is, he's all over the place. And like, going back to Gorilla Monsoon and Mean Gene, like, me and you, we would see them pop up places, but they did transcend generations, but not like Paul Heyman has. I don't think he has somehow reinvented himself, or he's just such a creative guy that he's able to just keep going and be important and involved in the industry.
Good. I hope that translates into collectors showing some respect, and then say, what, here's a guy that I need to look at again and invest in it. Because now I'm rethinking myself now. Maybe I should start picking up a couple Paul Heyman things,
Yeah, it's something I didn't really even think about until I knew we were going to do the show, and I started really thinking about him. Like, he has been a focal point from either a manager. He completely changed wrestling with ECW, and then he got back into the managerial role and was possibly even better once he got to WWE, and now he's on the top of his game still.
Yep.
So
yeah, he's somebody that if I was going to watch the current product, and when I do kind of dip in and see things on social media, I treat it like, Sports Center and catch all the highlights. He's something that I would go out and I'm like, check out what Paul Heyman. I heard he cut a pretty wicked promo in the ring. It's like that. I got to see it. It's Paul Heyman. I got to see it.
And even in the tame PG era WWE that we are in, if he's on the mic, it's going to be good regardless.
It's borderline. He's barely pushing possibly PG-13.
All right, Tony, let everybody know where they can find you and where they can find rookie card information, or who had this card in 1965.
I know we keep pushing that, but I don't really think that WTC is the place to go to when it comes to rookie card information. We don't really list what's a rookie card. I mean,
no, you can't.
But if you want to do your homework and you're looking for a place to go and find all the cards of a certain person, like Paul Heyman, just jump on WrestlingTradingCards.com, click on that search button, type in his name, and all the sets that he's involved in that has his name in it will show up. And everything you can want to find about WTC is on WTC. So everything, we're only on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and we have the Discord channel. I don't have places people buy me energy drinks and coffee. I'm not on LinkedIn. I'm definitely not on Snapchat. I'm not doing Twitch. And I say these things, and I didn't think I was going to be doing Twitter, but here I am.
Stand by 6 months from now. Join Tony on Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch. Yeah.
We're gonna be joining him to go back and watch 1960s wrestling. It's gonna be great.
Oh yeah. So, yeah, everything you want to know is on WrestlingTradingCards.com. On the bottom of every page, we'll have all the links to everything social media wise, and to contact us there.
And you can find all my stuff, Wrestling with Cards, on YouTube, the podcast, this podcast, probably somewhere else. But as long as you guys are having fun supporting our content, like whether you hate me and you love Tony, or vice versa, or you like us both or you hate us both, if you're consuming the content, we greatly appreciate you.
Yeah. Like, share, comment, give us a review. I just show us that you're at least listening.
This was recorded in the Tokyo Dome. We need that Dave Meltzer 5-star review. And until next time, please subscribe, share it with a friend. Keep collecting and having fun, because that's honestly what it's all about. That's why we're doing this. We're having fun.
That's right. I'm having fun. I got nothing else to say, man.
Having a blast, Bueller. All right.
All right.
You guys have a good night. See ya.
Bye.